We have heard a lot about character journeys that are coming to an end in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. One of the biggest rumors is the fact that Gamora might be meeting her ultimate demise. Now, of course, I think most of you remember that the Gamora that's alive in the MCU is no longer the one we followed in the first two films. So let's talk about Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora, and her thoughts and how ultimately she's really not going to have a problem about retiring if she needs to. So this comes at us from an interview from Variety, where Zoe sat down and talked a little bit about the upcoming Marvel Studios slate, and specifically Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And she talked about the idea of this being her final film, this being Gamora's final appearance, and what exactly is going on. She first said that when it comes to the makeup process and everything, she's not going to miss it. Having to sit in a chair for multiple hours on end, sometimes 6 to 7 hours, just to apply the makeup starting at 3:30 a.m., only to get to the set, then stand around, and then do a couple of scenes, and then do it all the next day for half a year, if not longer at a time. Now, of course, she's also referencing the fact that they did a lot of Avengers back-to-back, so she would constantly have to be in makeup. She says she's not gonna miss that at all if it comes to it. But she also talks about the fact that she's growing older. Everybody's growing older, and the franchise is growing older. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening in her personal life and her work life that could all impact this. And she talks about retiring as one of those things that just sort of happens. Sometimes it's time to move on. She also mentions the pandemic and the worries about it and how she wants to spend more time with her family just in case. And on top of this, she says that there's a whole new generation of young fans that are coming into Marvel, and they're connected with the new younger characters. And she feels like it's maybe time that some of the older characters for older audiences move on along or become supporting roles, while these younger new characters come in that offer a lot more representation and people can, line up their beliefs and see themselves in them. So I kind of agree with everything she's saying. I mean, it's no surprise, franchises and characters can get a little stale. I've talked about it plenty of times. I love Captain America. I will take infinite amounts of Chris Evans Captain America movies. But there's a whole new generation and whole new stories and new, abilities to tell new stories with Sam Wilson. And I'm more excited for that now than anything before. And what she's saying is, yeah, you might love Gamora, but there's new characters you're going to love even more, especially younger audiences. So let's make room for them. And ultimately to her, the money doesn't matter because she's going to have Avatar and money residual checks for the rest of her life. So if she retires, she really loses nothing.